Manea featuring Emil Rima, Samson Squad. Talofalava, very good morning. Now, time is running out for the Ōtara-Papatoetoe by-election. Voting is open, but you got 7 days. It closes on the 28th. Now, at the last local elections on October the 22nd, the Ōtara-Papatoetoe ward has one of the lowest vote turnouts. Now, the Auckland Manukau ward, just over 21% eligible for population voted. Now, in Ōtara, it was down by 19.6% of 4,550 voters, and Papatoetoe 21.4%. Now, here, this is the interesting part. That is just some of it. Now, today is Meet the Candidates, hosted by the Year 13 students of Sir Edmund Hillary Collegiate and Tangaroa College. And there is a huge push from council to encourage voting, and research shows when people start voting early in their lives, they continue to be engaged. Now, the students have been working with the lovely Vasa Fia Collins from Vasa Consultancy. Now, she's been preparing them around the issues and questions to canvass the candidates and what they offer as potential board member. But joining us this morning, talking about the event, is Eddie Tuiavi'i, Auckland Council, and is also the head of Pacific Democracy Services. As we say, malolele talofa, and welcome, kia ora.
Tēnā koe atamari e tapuala, and kia ora koutou to our viewers and listeners this morning. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here to talanoa te kōrero about our by-election there in Ōtara-Papatoetoe.
Well, it's the pleasure to have you and to talk about, all things about politics and council. Well, first of all, before we get into things, what are your emotions right now, Eddie? How are you feeling this morning?
Well, I think one of the first emotions that come to mind is one of excitement. You talk about the historical low voter turnout in areas such as Ōtara-Papatoetoe, and it is well known. But then also, if you think about the kaupapa to which we are having our kōrero today about, we're talking about rangatahi. And if you think about Ōtara specifically, 18 to 25-year-olds, the demographic profile of those people is quite high. If you think about Ōtara itself, more than 50% of people there are Pacifica. If you think about one of the barriers to voter participation, it's lack of access. Our rangatahi are running tonight's exciting event with Vasa Fia Collins, and so the immediate thought that comes to me, brother, is just hugely and massively excited for tonight's event.
Well done. Yeah, I'm excited as well because I wish this was earlier nowadays. But now we get into the interesting part. Why do you think that our people feel disconnected from politics?
Well, one of the reasons, Tapwala, and you know this well, one of the things is that they feel that they don't see themselves in the candidates. And as a proud Pacifica people, if your culture, your language, your identity isn't manifested in the people that are standing for local or central office, you think, well, doesn't look like me, doesn't sound like me, doesn't talk like me, why should I vote? That's one of the many reasons. One of the other reasons is that they don't see the decisions that local members or central members make as being relevant to them. So they don't see politics as being relevant. Yes. And I suppose one of the top three inhibitions is they don't think that politics is accessible. I don't know these people. I don't know what they stand for. Where can I see them? Where can I meet them? And to wrap it up, Tapwala, in terms of that part, that's what tonight's timely opportunity is. It's an opportunity to access these candidates directly, ask them what they're all about, and to find out more about why it matters to participate in local body elections.
How are council meeting our people? That is, rather than our people going to council, our council doing everything it can to go to our people and ensure our voices, needs, etc. are being met?
Look, also, it's a fantastic part, and it's something that both central and local government need to do more of. Historically, we've made our people leave their homes, leave their livelihoods, and come to where we are. What we're hearing from our people, and we've pivoted accordingly, is you got to make it easy for us. We work 2-3 jobs. We have multiple myriad responsibilities. You've got to make it really easy for us. And so one of the things that we are doing, Tapwala, is we're taking these activations. We're coming to the local churches. We're coming out to Te Puke Ōtara. We're showing up this Saturday at the market there in Ōtara. We are bringing democracy, if you like, for lack of a better term, to the people. We're bringing it to the community. And that's the realization that actually our people congregate in places where council isn't typically, but we need to pivot. If we want to reach our people, if we want to make it accessible, if we want to engage them, we need to come to where our people are. So Tapuala, it's absolutely front and center of mind. And that is seen in the fact that our engagement for this by-election is quite different to the stuff that we would normally do.
Now, this is going to be the interesting part to hear from you. Who hasn't received the voting papers, and can they still vote?
Absolutely. You know, Tapuala, one of the things that you'll know with not only our Pasifika people, but all people living across the Motuhua and Aotearoa is we're quite transient. We're at one address potentially at one stage, and when we move, we don't update our details, or we update our details, but the machinery is such that it doesn't respond and our papers get lost. And so the people that are likely to not have received their papers, A, you've not registered, or B, your details haven't been updated accordingly. Thankfully, there are multiple opportunities for people to not only register, to sign up, or to get special voting packs.
Yes.
You can either head to our website. If you check in the search bar on Google, Ōtara-Papatoetoe by-election, it'll give you more details. But easily accessible locations such as the Tupu Youth Library there on Dawson Road, the Ōtara-Papatoetoe or the Manukau Library, Te Puke Ōtara, if you go there, the lovely team there will help you. You can go there and you can cast a special vote if you haven't received your voting papers.
Now, here's the part that maybe be a bit tricky as I sort of wanted to ask the obvious consequences as are there as communities or individuals from not voting.
You know, Tapuala, where to start with that one? I think one of the obvious consequences is when you don't have your say, things are done to you, not for you or with you.
Yes.
If you don't cast your vote, and you know, Tapuala, this is really the advent of that journey to civic participation. If you don't usually vote, you know, if you don't vote young, the propensity for you to keep on not voting is higher. If you vote now as a rangatahi, especially, your propensity to be a good civic citizen starts there and it continues. What are the consequences of not voting? A, you're obviously not heard. B, in terms of being civically or politically active, you're not really likely to. And you know, Tapuala, I know
Yes.
that a lot of our young people would typically say, well, political decisions somewhere way over there, it doesn't affect me. If you look at Te Kaunihera o Tāmaki Makaurau's annual budget this year and the decisions around the things that were potentially going to be cut, those are the kinds of decisions that are made to people, not with people or for people, if we don't participate. You know, we take it for granted, Tapuala, that our rubbish will be picked up, that the buses will show up and all such things. But it's really, really important to be engaged, to have your say, and to influence the people who are going to be making the political decisions that affect your life and my life on the daily.
Now, this is new. Last October, there were a few places people could actually go to vote in person, wasn't there? Your final thoughts?
I mean, you know, between you and I think we would struggle to come up with 2 New Zealand post boxes that are still here in Tamaki. It's just a fact. You know, postal voting is sort of being done away with, but unfortunately, it's the main mechanism at the moment. What we've tried to do, as I said earlier in my talanoa, we're trying to make it accessible. We're trying to make it easy for people to find places not only to drop their papers off at, but also to be able to cast a special vote. So again, it is a lot to take in an interview, but if you
Yes.
check in Ōtara-Papatoetoe by-election, all of our details are there online.
Your final thoughts to wrap up the exciting moment, and once again, and to also to remind our people tonight's events to meet the candidates as we just finished discussing all about the by-election. Once again, please also.
So my final thoughts are it's an incredibly exciting by-election with Angela, Lorenzo, Albert, and Nevaeh. These are 4 incredible candidates that live and breathe Ōtara-Papatoetoe. That's the first thing. The second thing is we have a really, really exciting opportunity tonight, hosted by Vasa Fia Collins and the local students of Sir Edmund, Hillary Collegiate, and also Tangaroa College. You know, our rangatahi are participating. They want to have a say in making sure that we know who these people are. And thirdly, come for an opportunity tonight from 6 to 8 to meet our people in person. to ask them questions, to ask them whether they really care about Ōtara-Papatoetoe, ask them about their cultural background, ask them about the things that they want to do if they're successful in being elected onto the local board. So it starts with casting your vote locally, and you stay connected, you participate, you stay engaged. So tonight at Te Puke Ōtara from 6 to 8, look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you so much, Eddie, for your time. It's been a pleasure having you on the show this morning, and we love hearing from you more in the near future. Malo lava.
Malo whawhtai.
Well, if you've missed it, you can also watch the full interview on our 531PI page, and you can also go to the 531PI YouTube and catch all the lovely interview with Eddie Tuiavi, Auckland Council